Hello! Welcome to Apex to Oval. I'm Alex. That's Jack. And today we're going to be talking about some Formula 1, some NASCAR, and some IndyCar. Let's get into it. First up, we're going to be talking about Ferrari bringing major upgrades to Austria, and apparently an engine upgrade too. The championship could be closing, Jack. It could be closing. It could be closing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay. I mean, them bringing ADUO engine upgrades, cool. Actually, I had it as a headline here later that Audi brought them to Barcelona, that they were way on top of it. Literally, as soon as it was announced, boom, ready to go. For Ferrari, I feel like we've been, obviously bringing ADUO engine upgrades useful. I feel like we've been getting headlines about their huge upgrades that'll close the gap every single week and every single race. And there's still, I feel like, more headlines about their Barcelona upgrades than their non-engine Austria upgrades. But
it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Eventually.
And as we talked about with Red Bull, supposedly at Austria, they're finally going to get their car to hit minimum weight. And also, continue to upgrade a car, which is apparently powered by the best power unit. It's got the best, ICE component of the power unit, I guess, and is really a truly terrible car in every other aspect.
Clock it. Red Bull best engine. Clock it.
Although speaking of the power units, it's come out that the Mercedes batteries are supposedly really sensitive to heat. Which I don't know about you, but I think it might get a little hot in Austria potentially. And means that we might be in for a little more spice in this title fight.
Mercedes is cooked. Mercedes is cooked. I'm just kidding. No, definitely. I think even with the battery issues, there's still Mercedes, man. It's still Kimi and George. Like, let's be honest.
Kimi and who?
In that fight.
Sorry.
Sorry. Georg derogatory. Actually, now that I say that, continue with what you're gonna say.
Where? Uh-oh. Now I'm scared. What's he got cooking? Uh-oh.
Oh, you already know what I got cooking?
Oh my god, it's Georg.
It's Georg. Wait, hold up. Oh, shoot! I almost just killed myself. It's Georg.
It's okay, as long as Georg's okay.
Georg would have been fine. He would have broken his fall. I would have broken his fall. He would have been just fine. Oh my god, wait. Wait. Oh, that moved. Alright, well. Continue.
I don't think I had more on that one. I'm so lost. I mean, sick Yukon Racing shirt there.
Oh, thank you. Shoot. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway.
Roll skis.
Roll skis, baby.
What we got on deck then? I guess we're talking about the heat, but that heat may also bring some rain to Austria?
Yeah, well, okay, here's the thing about that, right? They said there was going to be rain in Miami. There was no rain. There was another race where they said there was going to be rain. There was no rain. So, Canada. They said there's going to be rain in Canada. There was no rain. I don't believe this. I do not believe. Whoever's saying there's rain, I don't believe you. Until it happens, I don't believe you. If it is raining, Max and Lewis are going to cook. They're the two best weather drivers in all of F1. They are going to cook. But I don't think it's gonna. They say it's been gonna rain. I don't believe them. It's not gonna rain. It's not gonna happen.
Well, either way, if you happen to not be an Apple TV subscriber who is F1 curious, the Austrian Grand Prix this weekend is the first of a selection of races that Apple is going to make free to watch for anyone.
I have a joke.
Go for it.
Since it's Pride Month, if you're F1 curious, free Apple TV.
Okay. All right.
That was a banger, though. That was kind of good. That was kind of good. God damn it. That was pretty good, though.
Right.
You can't lie. That was pretty good. That was out the dome. That was off the top of the dome too. There was no planning for that. Oh, so yeah. Let's talk about it. Audi brought their ADO upgrades. Oh wait, no, screw it. No, let's move on to Tsolov. Big Bubaklat. You know what I'm talking about when I say that? Hold up. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? Wait, you don't?
No.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna pull something up while you talk. Keep talking about it.
Oh, well, he was guaranteed an RB seat in 2027, according to Soy Motor. And that was reported last night, actually, as we're recording this, which seemingly means that either Liam Lawson will be out of a seat entirely, or should Max leave for a different team, as has been rumored to be a possibility, right, with everything that's come out about his negotiations, then things get a lot more interesting. Or maybe Liam Lawson stays, Arvid gets promoted, or I don't know. Things get funky then.
Arvid promoted to Red Bull. It'll be Arvid and Hajar.
But as is, it's looking like Lawson is on his way out, unfortunately. Unfortunately for him, at least. I'm kind of on the fence of if I'm actually upset about that. Well,
here's the thing, though. He's been good this season. He has
been fast. He has still been
like
he's still lived up to the meme song of him, you know what I mean?
He's 10th in points.
Yeah. I mean, he's had pretty good speed. I just feel like he's kind of innately a little dangerous on track sometimes.
Fair. I'm trying to see who's below him. Because, Colapinto. Sorry, I was looking at the top 5 constructors, and it's Colapinto who's... Anyway, this is what I was talking about. Hold up. This is going to have to get muted, so for our viewers, I'm sorry, this shit's getting muted. It's a banger! It's another banger by Nikola Tsolov. Oh my god. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Big bomb cloud. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
All right, that's it. Get him in the seat right now. I don't care.
Get him in there. We need more TikToks. Also, for people who are wondering why I'm looking here and not there, my screen doesn't work, so I'm looking at my monitor. So, heads up. I'm not, being disassociated. I'm genuinely looking at my monitor, which has everything. Anyway, speaking of...
You're so zoned out.
No, I am. I'm thinking about how the U.S. is going to win the World Cup.
Right.
Yeah,
Basketball.
I know. Sorry. No, it's kickball.
No, if we win, it's grasketball now.
Actually, it's soccer if we win, because we just have to show the Europeans what's cooking.
This is true. I think we just had to stop saying that when we played Australia for they also call it soccer reasons.
Did you see what they've been saying? So
oh yeah,
they lost. For people salty. Who don't know, they have been so salty, even since the Winter Olympics. Medal capita per population. Shut the hell up. When we were top 2 or top 3 in medals, they were like, "Oh, but your country is so big." Who cares? And then now that they lost to us in soccer, they're like, "Oh, the refs." You just lost. Your center back should have gotten a red. I don't know why you're mad. You should have piss off.
This is kind of not a motorsports opinion, because motorsports is an entirely different beast in this way, but this is why this World Cup so far is the best example of why it's so fun to be the underdog and kind of sucks to be a favorite that constantly disappoints. Like that it's more fun to be a wild card team in some ways than to be like a 2 seed. Obviously, if you win a championship, which the 2 seed has a higher chance of doing, then that's great. But like there's so much downside to the people who like actually come in with expectations and care, where they get beat by the US and they're like losing their minds about it. And then basically the entire United States. Obviously, there are many people in this country that are super diehard soccer fans, right? And diehard U.S. men's soccer fans, even though they're kind of few and far between. Obviously, the women's team is an entirely different story.
By the way, I just want to put something into perspective. We're second, or in all men's and women's titles, World Cup titles combined, we're like third.
Yep.
Because
U.S.
of
women's
the
team is goated.
Yeah, too good.
But
shout out Tourney Rodman.
When it comes to the men's team, like it really feels like playing with house money in a way where the vast majority of the country is just like, oh my God, yay, we did good if we win. And oh, okay, if we lose, instead of whatever's been going on with the Australians. And there's kind of a nice piece in that. Both in that it is so infuriating to some of these other countries, and there really isn't much of a downside here. The vibes are pretty good for the most part, unless the English are involved.
Or Canada.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Wait, we can't forget what they did
What
to
can you
Bosnia,
do?
man. I'm just saying. They were
What can you do? But like, we're apparently there's going to be an influx of like, you know, I mean, Mexico and South Korea, those two teams were just having the time of their lives together. You know, Scotland and Boston, like so many other places, just having a great time, not really having a lot of the downside with it. And that's a good thing.
Yeah. I actually have really enjoyed the European, like the Europeans, the Africans, the, you know, Asians, like coming to the US and like really like liking it here and like showing their reactions to like Buc-ee's and Costco and like the food. I just really enjoy that. I feel like the U.S. gets a really bad rep for, I mean, at least our current world leader, but other things as well. And it's really nice to see like everybody come together in the U.S. and like, obviously Mexico, Canada also are hosting like games, but like the people who come to the U.S. to watch their teams and they have a blast. Like that's always really fun to see, because I feel like the American people aren't necessarily bad. It's and like why we're seen as bad, but it's more the people at the very top. And I just really enjoy seeing people enjoy it here.
I mean, yes and no. There's still
no, but there's
like
still bad people.
40% of the country at least that is all in on like all the reasons that the US is so hated elsewhere. But I do think that, you know, when you talk about people having a good time, it makes me happier on the other side of that, on seeing people still be so welcoming in a time where like all of that is going on and it's theoretically so well supported. And then you have like, great, in the middle of Kansas, you're welcoming Algeria with open arms and like really celebrating like with the teams that, because, you know, each team kind of has their own home base in different spots in a way, and seeing all the connections being made there and all the, you know, American locals reaching out and interacting in such a positive way, and you know all the different ways that people were so supportive of the teams coming to them at a time when that just doesn't seem like it's, you know, the way that it would go in a lot of other situations in this country.
Yeah, it has been really fun though, and I hope it continues that way. And I really like the Scots.
Yeah,
the Scots are great.
They know how to party.
Dude, they completely drank Boston empty, dude. How is that possible? They have so much alcohol there. How did you drink an entire city dry?
In fairness, it is Boston. If this was like Wisconsin, then I'd be really shocked. But
yeah, but I mean, it's just it's been unbelievable seeing all the positive interactions with Americans and the visitors, and you know. It's been really nice. So,
and you know what? Speaking of positives, today, as we're recording this, it won't still be true when we put this out, obviously. But as we're recording,
we don't know that. I could stay up late and edit this.
You could.
I could. I might.
But as we're
It
recording
depends.
this, it's International Women in Engineering Day. And as we're still theoretically talking about F1, even though the World Cup being the biggest sporting event in the world, kind of justifiably takes over. But F1 has posted a series of videos kind of spotlighting women that are involved in different aspects of F1. And I think that they're worth a watch, you know?
I'll link them in the description. So for people who are
Absolutely.
listening on Spotify or YouTube, I don't know if they would transfer over to Apple Podcasts, but if at least if it's
I mean,
Spotify or YouTube,
the
in
description
link
comes over.
description,
I don't know if the link would, but it probably will.
it might. But we'll see. If it doesn't, I'll manually go in a day or two when it's done editing, and I'll put it in. But yeah, the link in the description for all those videos.
Yeah. Always good to have some both interesting and feel good content, you know, kind of put together of like,
Yes.
hey, not everything's so bad. We are making progress in some ways in the world.
Speaking of good progress, England and Ghana tied earlier, and I'm happy about that. Um, no, I do have to say I do support England when they're in the Euros. But in a tournament with the U.S., I will refuse to support anyone but the U.S. and Argentina because of Messi and Colombia. Love Colombia, but
I don't know. I like many English people, but the England fan base is so insufferable in a way that essentially no other countries are,
mhm.
and just being so outwardly negative in like every way that
Yeah,
and just like awful about it. Like it's one thing to be like pessimistic, it's another thing to just be awful to like literally every other country
mhm.
and their fans in a way where I just can't do it. Like I would be inclined to,
Mhm.
but I just can't.
Well, I do support them because there's a lot of Arsenal players on their team.
Mm,
So if they didn't have Arsenal play, if they didn't have Saka at the very least, I probably wouldn't support them. But I have to support my star boy. But uh, there are a lot of negative statistics on England fans, though. A lot of negative statistics on them, which is a little worrisome. But the team itself seems fine. Um, Predictions for the Austrian Grand Prix. I have again Kimi Antonelli. I think he is too good not to pick, so I'm gonna keep picking him.
Austria notably being the country that Messi set a World Cup record against yesterday.
Ooh, wow! I didn't make that connection. Damn.
But otherwise, I'm gonna go with Max, which I kind of already called my shot on this a while ago.
You bring up Messi and then don't go with Colapinto? That's crazy.
Uh, God damn. You think I'm gonna pick him to? I now he's gonna win, and I'm gonna look so stupid. But no way I'm
Dude,
picking him
I
to win.
really hope Colapinto wins so you look dumb as hell.
But
Everybody
no, I mean,
crashes out into turn one except for Franco Colapinto.
bro,
Instant
Gasly
winner.
bowling. Gasly takes everyone else
Gasly
out.
goes bowling again. No, it'd have to be one of the Astons. Because
Oh
they're
yeah,
theoretically going to be in the back. Like,
theoretically.
Lance Stroll goes bowling. Let's be like, Lance
Ooh, Stroll
Stroll
bowling.
tries to pull a
Strolling.
Nelson Piquet
Oh
Jr.
wait, that's also a word. Shoot.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'll set the scene. Austrian Grand Prix, first corner. Lance Stroll tries to pull a Nelson Piquet Jr. for Fernando Alonso again, but instead runs into him, which in turn takes out the whole grid except for Franco Colapinto. Who says no?
Not me. Not
Not
me.
me. Not me.
But no, I got Max. Red Bull finally getting their car to wait. Red Bull kind of coming on as I think more than any other team, we've seen the effect of their upgrades over time, where they started so truly hopeless with how bad that car was. And they've actually gotten to a point where Max is able to, he at least looks like he can compete for a win, right? Like he can be competitive in qualifying. He can be, he can, maybe he's running his own race in fifth, but like he's still up there instead of barely hanging on to the points. And with this supposedly being another big step forward, and this being Red Bull's home track, which they take a lot of pride in being good there, I got to do it.
I was gonna say you can't really make a case for Max being good up at the front yet, because the one time he instantly, like, his car died. So we can't make that case yet, but that is a good pick. Max is still Max. Other picks I would throw out there, Lewis as the other one that didn't get picked. I would have picked Lewis, but I feel like I'm kind of like a jinx. So
George, Lewis, Charles, Lando, Oscar.
Oscar, yeah, literally any of the top four, except for like maybe Hadjar. Not yet, Hadjar. Let's be clear, Hadjar will get there, but not yet.
I just think Red Bull is still enough behind, even with this upgrade package. Like, I just couldn't see not Max pulling it off, but I could see Max doing it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. But like, yes.
Like, it's not meant to diss Hadjar. It's just I still don't necessarily see Red Bull as like equal with some of the other teams. I just feel like they're close enough that the Max difference can kick in.
That's fair. In-season tournament is starting this week. Yeah.
NASCAR time. NASCAR.
Yeah, NASCAR yes. Time. Who do you have to win the in-season tournament?
That's an interesting one, because it's the problem is I don't know how the bracket actually like works out. Right? Because it's such a strange thing to predict.
So I will tell you where everyone is. So
I know like where people are this week, but like as you go forward in the different kinds of tracks, it's just so bonkers.
So I will say Reddick has a relatively easy path to the semis. Path to the semis. And then all he really needs to beat out is either, I mean, if things go right for these two drivers, Elliott or Briscoe, because they're most likely going to make it to the semis. And I don't think any of them can really compete with Reddick at this point. On the other side, though, he's losing. Like, it will be Denny's bad. Like Denny did great last week, P14. We'll talk about that later, but I have a feeling Ty Dillon is going to finish the race and Denny's not going to finish the race. And yeah.
Yeah, like, because if you look at the tracks that we have, it's Sonoma for round one. And then we go to Chicagoland, which is, big, fast. Then we go to Echo Park, which is like super speedway drafting. Then we go to North Wilkes-Barre, which is like short. And then we go to Indy, the Brickyard, which is kind of its own thing. And looking at the group of tracks on the whole, I'd say, okay, someone like Bubba Wallace, who's really come on as a road course racer, but there are some tracks, like a super speedway that he's really strong at, mixed in there where it's kind of a mix that he can do pretty well, because there are no traditional 1.5 miles on here, right? They're all kind of different tracks. Mm-hmm. But the problem is Bubba Wallace is facing Michael McDowell, who has been excellent at Sonoma and is generally an excellent road racer in round one. He could be eliminated even if he has a really great finish at Sonoma, just because McDowell is that good on these kinds of tracks. Like, in every week is a new like specialty kind of track type for someone. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know how I could pick someone. Like, I think that you're right in saying that Reddick is probably the favorite just because he's Tyler Reddick this year. And he's been good on all of these kinds of tracks.
And I'm just going to say it, he kind of has a really easy path in his little quadrant to the semis. Like, he has to face Bowman in the first round. He has to face Bowman in the first round at a road course. Bowman's not beating him at a road course. Unless Reddick again, this is if Reddick crashes. If Reddick crashes out, fine. But, like, if each of these drivers in here finish the race with Reddick, I don't see them beating him. Bowman, Cindric, Keselowski, Suarez, Gilliland, Hocevar, Smith. No.
The Spire boys on a super speed, because the thing with Echo Park, right? Super speedway. High speed, drafting track, crazy things happen. Hocevar's aggressive. Both those Spire guys. I mean, Ford works together very well, but by then it would be Gilliland or Smith. And yeah, Zane Smith has run pretty well every now and then lately, but I don't necessarily see it. But Hocevar and Suarez, like, how can you feel good about that going into it? Just because of how random that kind of track can be.
I would feel good about Reddick again, but like Reddick is good at super speedway, so like.
But what happens if he gets in an incident? Like, what happens if he gets caught in the big one? Even if he does nothing wrong.
Fair, but I mean, it's still Tyler Reddick. He got into a wreck at Daytona and still won Daytona, so like that doesn't really matter.
It
in
doesn't
the grand
not
scheme of
matter,
things,
but like fair enough.
If he has Riley Herbst up there with him towards the end of the race, I mean, there's
True.
no shot for Hocevar to beat him. But
Goat teammate.
on the other side, though, realistically, I think Denny makes it through. I think Denny makes it to the final.
Very bold of you to pick the 1 and 2 seeds.
I know. Realistically, though, I'm gonna probably go with Bubba. Though, I would go with Denny or Reddick, but I'm actually gonna pick Bubba as my winner. I get McDowell's good at road courses. I get he's good at Sonoma. I just have a feeling that Bubba has improved a lot. San Diego, although that was a new track for everyone, he still did amazing, and I think he's going to carry that momentum into Sonoma, and then beat everyone else.
I am gonna be bold. I'm gonna be bold. Riley Herbst makes it to the semifinal.
I was literally just going to ask you what's your upset of the tourney, and I literally was thinking Riley Herbst over Larson. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
So yeah, I think my semifinal picks would be Herbst, would be Busher, over Denny, because this stuff goes crazy. I think Hocevar, just because that feels very Carson Hocevar, and then I'll say Ty Gibbs for the last quadrant.
Who makes it to the final?
I don't know.
All right, I'll give you mine.
I'll go with Gibbs in the final against Busher. Then
who wins it?
Maybe Ty Gibbs.
Again, okay.
Ty. The name Ty is just unstoppable in this tournament. Remember.
Yeah, this is true. It was Ty Dillon versus Ty Gibbs last time.
With Tyler Reddick in the semifinals, right?
I believe so, yeah. For me, I got Reddick making the semis. I got Bubba making the semis. I have... See, the bottom right bracket is just weird to me. Screw it.
Yeah.
Blaney and Denny. And then I got basically 1, 2, 3, and 18.
13.
Or 13, sorry. Making it to the championship, I got Denny v. Bubba. And I'm going to say screw it. I'm going to have Denny during Bubba like he did last year at I forget which track. And then Elliot's going to come through down the inside and Denny's going to beat him. Yeah. It's fine.
Anyway,
also
commentating the action.
Commentating the action. Yeah, Jimmy Johnson is joining TNT's NASCAR coverage, debuting this week at Sonoma. That'll be fun to watch. Listen to.
Yes, it will. I mean, he'll be good at it. I was kind of surprised with how well he performed this weekend, but he was fast when he was on track. Obviously,
I'm not. No. That wasn't meant towards that.
Oh, but I'm fairly sure that he'll be good at it. It's the kind of thing that he's good in front of a camera. And I'm excited to hear him as part of the coverage. I'm sad to be saying goodbye to Prime Video so soon, which I think I would have thought was an inconceivable sentence not that long ago. But they're like, before streaming really took over sports in a lot of ways, and before we saw how good the Prime broadcast ended up being, would have been like, what do you mean you're sad for it to be off streaming? But the Prime broadcast is just incredible for NASCAR.
Hour after, full race coverage. It's beautiful, man.
Isn't it crazy that is what, and we're like, oh my God, they're doing so much. Like, how bad is it on like network and cable TV?
How bad is every other broadcaster that Amazon Prime is the GOAT? Yeah. They do the Grand Tour though, so they know how to do car stuff.
Yeah, they do a good job, but like a little bit of pre and post race coverage, is it really like, how is that the bar that Amazon is like setting themselves apart with? I don't know. I don't
I
know.
will say they also set the bar apart because they have Carl Edwards.
And Corey LaJoy. Sorry.
Maybe not, but maybe, maybe. It depends. It's all based on the week. Did he piss me off this week? No. All right, Corey LaJoy could be a part of it. Anyway, Roush is teaming up with Ram.
Yeah. I was going to say, speaking of Carl Edwards, famously drove for Roush Fenway Racing for a while. Roush, to be clear, not the NASCAR team, not RFK Racing, but Roush as in Roush Performance, or the kind that worked with Ford on consumer vehicles, is teaming up with Ram to make a performance truck with Ram. This is very interesting because Roush obviously has historically worked with Ford. They are if everything else fell apart, Roush would still be affiliated with Ford, has been the sentiment for a very long time. True in NASCAR, true outside of NASCAR in a lot of ways, although not exclusively. And so in an era where we've had a couple years, especially once Brad Keselowski got involved, years of speculation of RFK Racing being a very attractive option for Dodge Ram to team up with as they look to enter the sport. For Roush to be teaming up with Ram elsewhere, when historically they've been a very Ford-heavy enterprise and been seen as very Ford-exclusive in a lot of ways, combined with all that speculation, it just feels so interesting.
Yeah. Will we see them in Ram for Cup, maybe, when they make it there?
Yeah, I mean, because that they're not happy with just Colleague, right?
Mm-hmm.
Colleague fielding, 5 trucks for them is a great way to get a foot in the door, to have a partner for that. Obviously, Colleague didn't have a truck team before, but Colleague's Cup team, even with factory support, is not going to be, it legally can't be more than a 3-car chartered stable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you have a couple teams grandfathered in, but the maximum is 3 chartered cars.
Mm-hmm.
And so surely they'd be looking to bring in at least another team to really be competitive, similar to how they've, had, at least 5 competitive resource-wise trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe that'll help. That Dodge money will get them that 3rd charter that they're kind of losing.
Yeah. And then Hardy's and Carl Jr.'s Bub Wall meal.
Yes.
Bubba Wallace as a meal at Carl Jr. Hardy's.
I ate Bubba. Just kidding. I didn't actually eat Bubba Wallace.
Jack can't eat anything in the Hardy's menu.
That's sort of true. I can have fries. So
outside of the fries, Jack can have 0 things on the Hardy's menu.
That's more like it. So, Bubba Wallace promo with Hardy's exists. We have returned to the days where you get a diecast as the toy with a meal. And this is wonderful. This is great stuff. There were a lot of NASCAR accounts, a lot on social media, of people going to Hardy's, people getting a meal, getting their toy with the meal. This is a real Lionel diecast. I drove over an hour each way to go to the nearest Hardy's to me, because that is still so much closer than the 4 hours Alex would have had to drive.
This is true.
Took my girlfriend along, got 2 Bubba Wallace full throttle meals so that we could get a diecast for me and a diecast for Alex. Had her eat all the chicken because I can't eat that. I ate a bunch of fries. All for this little diecast. And you know what? Marketing works. And I'm okay with that. Because
it's true.
All hail the Hardy's Bubba Wallace meal.
I'm excited to get it. I'm so excited to get it from Jack. I'm so excited.
To be clear, this is mine. I left yours in the bag that it came in. I wouldn't dare sully it. I would.
That's fine. I'm just happy to get one, man. I love Bubba Wallace, and I'm happy to get it. I own a Bubba Wallace diecast. It's in my little bag of diecast because when I cleaned my room, or when I have a new desk, Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I got a new desk. It's like I had a much smaller desk. We took off the desktop and like removed it, and then um, screwed the legs onto a bigger desktop that my dad had for his old desk because he got rid of it, and he kept the top for me. And now I have a bigger desk. And
Is this like just an IKEA desk top with the legs screwed in?
this is the desktop.
That
Those are the
looks
legs.
similar to mine,
Those are
but
the legs.
maybe not.
Those are the legs. But yeah, new desk, new me. Also, able to fit not just one monitor, crazy how that works, two monitors, computer. I have room for another computer, don't mind the brownies. I can add another computer. Fantastic setup. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else I love, Jack?
Corey Haim.
Heim time, baby. Corey Heim wins the Cup Series race. You thought I was going to say trucks there, didn't you? You're wrong. Cup race at San Diego. It was a great race. Heim got payback for the 2023 championship, meaning he dubbed Hocevar. And then on Twitter, there was an interaction. Some guy was like, oh, yada, yada, yada. Like, Hocevar will remember this. And then Heim put a clip of Hocevar being like, you know how to not get wrecked? Move over. Just move out the way. Get out the way, and you won't get wrecked. And Carson Hocevar quote tweets that with a picture of Dexter.
Dude, they're funny, man. It's funny.
Dude, this is what NASCAR needs. This is what NASCAR needs. They need them.
I love it.
Beefing. I do love it too. I'm a big fan of both, so I was happy no matter what. But
Beefing in a silly way too.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it's good. Dude, when Heim gets cut in the cut next year full time, oh, it's gonna be a blast.
Which, yes, already won before he starts as a full-time driver for 2311. Obviously, that was announced recently as finally happening. But alongside that, like, Riley Herbst has been pretty good lately and put on a great showing in this race.
I just want to say something. Riley Herbst, where has this been? When you had a seat that was safe, you drove like dog shit 99% of the time. And now that you don't have a seat for next year, you're driving like prime Jimmy Johnson. Why couldn't you do this before? Why?
So to give him some credit, I will say that there is a learning curve to these cars, right? You've seen it with a lot of like good prospects that struggle for a while before they kind of start to figure it out. But with that said, he did not and never had the prospect pedigree to have earned the leash that he got in such a competitive seat and to be that awful for so long. Like, that's not justifying his performance, but it is really impressive that he's come on in this way.
Dude, I just want to point something out. I'm gonna talk about this now because it's the next thing on our list. 2311 with 5 to go was 1, 2, 3, 4. They ended the race 1, 2, 8, and then wherever Tyler Reddick finished because he screwed up his tires. What a performance 2311 is having this year.
Bonkers.
I am so, as a 2311 fan, like I like all the teams realistically, but like 2311 is like my team that I fully support no matter what. It's so fun to see them race really well. Like Bubba Wallace, naturally, like historically not a good road course driver. P2.
Not just P2.
Yeah,
which we could talk about.
Yeah.
But continue.
He P2. Corey Heim in his 13th start, by the way, same as Jimmy Johnson when he got his first win, and one more than Dale Jr. when he got his first win, and about like 70 less races than Carson Hocevar when he got his first win. I'm kidding. Shout out Hocevar though. He actually is really good. He actually did race really well this race too until Corey Heim dumped him. But like 2011 drove really well. Herbst has come alive these past couple of weeks. Reddick is still Reddick. Bubba has done really well on road courses recently. He's done well in total. And this is like, he's had a dry streak recently. he unbelievable this weekend on a road course. And Hyman himself has been damn good this season as well on his part-time schedule. It is so fun to watch them race.
Yeah.
Talk about what you want to talk about, Bubba.
So Bubba, right? Having a great race. Genuinely, competing. Obviously, tire degradation and tire management played a huge part in this race. So just leading ahead of SVG doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, right? Like SVG, Bubba was leading, but then SVG kind of passed him pretty easily. Eventually, that's kind of part of the game. But Bubba still was up front on merit. Was one of the faster drivers all day. Until pits, loose wheel. Wheel comes off, so he's held for 2 laps, which, mind you, under caution, that's like 10 minutes of real time. Because this is like an almost 2.5 minute lap. Held for 2 full laps in his pit box. And, obviously everything else that goes around with a loose wheel. But from 2 laps down, Bubba Wallace comes all the way back up to the front and finishes second in this race. There were memes ahead of time of Bubba Hamilton, including shared by Bubba himself.
Yes, he did post a Bubba Hamilton photo on Twitter.
And yes, like
yes.
Bubba, you earned that.
Yes, oh my God, he's unbelievable from him. Mind you, I have a tire from him from last season when season before when he finished P10 at Watkins Glen. The man has improved so much on a road course since even last year or the year before. I am happy, unbelievable. And if he played his cards a little better, right? Obviously, great race from him, not taking away from that. If he played his cards a little better, he probably could have been fighting for the win with Heim.
Yeah, but it's not out of the picture.
He fell back a little bit, but still unbelievable race from him. Kept Lawson at bay.
It's crazy to me still that we're even talking about him as a top 15 threat at road courses, much less a guy with the talent to compete for the win at a time when we have better road course racers than ever, with not just guys like SVG and guys like Connor Zilic, but guys like Tyler Reddick and Ty Gibbs and Michael McDowell, and the list goes on and on. Chris Buescher even feels like he would win dozens of road course races if he was racing in a different era of drivers. And for Bubba Wallace to go from we'd be happy with a top 30 at a road course to we are expecting a top 10 is such an insane turnaround in a few years' time that it's just been really incredible to watch.
Yeah. He's improved so I don't know what he's been doing. Maybe it's the iRacing or something. I don't really know. With SVG and Scott McLaughlin maybe, but dude, he's way good on ovals now. It's so fun to watch.
He's been grinding at it. It was the biggest deficiency in his race. Obviously, he was always strong on super speedways. And maybe the car wasn't good enough for him to compete on some of the other tracks, but he didn't see the other tracks as a weakness. But road courses were a very clear weakness for him for a while, and he managed to really work at it in a way where obviously every single driver is working on stuff. It's not like they're not working on it, but he managed to really turn that weakness into a strength without losing his ability in those other aspects. And that's just so impressive when this is against guys who are at the top of their game, who are also working on it so hard.
Yeah. It's amazing to watch. I also want to shout out real quick Tyler Reddick.
Oh my God.
Who was racing Heim for the lead. Reddick makes a mistake into one of the corners. Heim takes advantage of it, takes the lead, and then 2-3 corners later, Reddick drives too far into the corner, hits Heim. Heim bounces off the wall. Reddick gives Heim the place, which is something that
I don't want to win like that. Not against your teammate.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think there. And this is an exaggeration, obviously, but there may not be a single driver on the grid who does that, except for
especially because
you give any other driver the opportunity to win, they're gonna win. They're just gonna win.
not just, and yes, Corey Heim is a teammate, but it's not just that he did this for another driver. He did it for a driver for whom, yes, the win is meaningful on a personal level. Corey Heim is not getting points in the Cup Series. He's not fighting for a championship. When Tyler Reddick is actively scrapping with Denny Hamlin for points for the chase, for the regular season championship, that then, is an advantage going into the chase. Like that, the swing in points from first to second is so meaningful for Tyler Reddick. And obviously the win, tremendously meaningful, but the point difference there, meaningless for Corey Heim.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, really, as I said, Tyler Reddick, so ethical I could cry. Obviously, he was then rewarded for that by a cut tire and a 25th place finish. Kind of barely limping home, which really heartbreaking after the day he had on the whole, and after that battle with Corey Heim where he held him off for many laps. Heim got by him. Reddick could have got by again, but chose the ethical path, and then, man.
Yeah. Also, Austin Hill.
Opposite end of the spectrum.
Opposite end of the spectrum. We're on a restart. This is decent, halfway through the race on a restart. Zilich is side by side with him. SVG is behind Zilich, and then they get away, and we're heading into turn 1, turn 2, and SVG is side by side with Zilich, backs out now behind Zilich, and then Hill not only wrecks Zilich, not only wrecks SVG, but wrecks himself in the process. There's a quote where if you're going to wreck someone, at least don't wreck yourself, or something along those lines. And he wrecked himself while wrecking the two favorites for the race. I'm not going to lie. I think he drove in the corner and then his brakes locked because he was slamming on the brakes because he drove too far in the corner. Unbelievable. Yeah. I have no words for that. Denny Hamlin Masterclass P14, not good at road courses. Has never been good at road courses. P14, pretty good.
Really?
I feel like. Well, as long as I've been watching, he's not been good at road courses. I don't know about 10 years ago, but when I started watching, he hasn't been good. Since I've been started watching, he hasn't been good at road courses.
I mean, he has a win at a road course historically. But I don't know. I don't think of him as bad at a road course. I just think of him as typical competitive Cup Series driver at a road course. He's not a McDowell and SVG and anything like that, right? But he still isn't bad.
Okay.
He's the kind of guy that'll compete week in, week out, no matter what track you put him on.
Well, speaking of somebody who doesn't compete in and out, week in and week out, Noah Gragson. Not a good driver. And I'm willing to say that. I don't really care. Not a good driver. Always in the back. Never competing for wins. Never competing with anything. Whiny little baby. Gets him out at K-Mag. For being K-Mag. Dog, why are you... He's acting so tough, man, don't do that, don't do that. Dog, shut up. Be quiet. You were running 33rd, racing him and defending like an a-hole. You would have got turned by any driver on the grid. Why are you mad at K-Mag? You did that to yourself. Had you not defended dirty, you wouldn't have been turned like that. Not his problem. You are the issue, Noah Gragson. I got no words for that. K-Mag did what K-Mag does, and he dumped him. What do you want? He was defending like an a-hole, and K-Mag had enough. I don't know what you want from that, but he did the right thing.
This is true, and I think that, honestly, I think the majority of fans are on K-Mag's side here.
Oh, 100%.
This has sparked some interesting conversations of the typical... the typical conflicts that you get when European fans interact with American fans of basically anything, of just the complete misunderstanding of the other side in any of these cases, where you had a lot of people just assume that NASCAR people were supporting Gragson on the backs of Noah Gragson, kind of fitting the Talladega Nights style caricature of what a NASCAR driver is. But there's a lot of people that are like, well, don't you say that the reason that NASCAR is better than F1 is because you can wreck people and like because these wrecks happen and stuff? And it's like, no, actually. I mean, the reason that the on-track product is better is because they can actually race each other. Like that there's actually, more cars on track, a lot more action on track, more variety in what you're watching. Like
one car
F1
is eons better than the other, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, because F1 is about peak engineering, which inherently makes it a bad on-track product a lot of the time. And that's okay. That's what it is. And it is exceptional at being that. And it's really cool. And a spec series where you have fenders is naturally going to be a more interesting on-track product. And that's okay. But fine. What it's not is, we get to just wreck each other. It's not a demolition derby. It's not, some weird hybrid of like demolition derby of monster trucks of, like those figure 8 races or anything like that. Like it is still a legitimate racing series.
I think one driver thinks that.
Are you referring to Hocevar?
No, I was referring to Austin Hill.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I was really confused. I was like,
oh, wait. Hey, Eric Almirola. Boom. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. With the white gloves on.
with the white gloves. What an idiot. What? Why are you wearing white gloves?
We're saying all this. Who won the O'Reilly race?
Austin Hill. Dude, it's like Julian Edelman with the red gloves. But Austin Hill with the white gloves. Let's talk about Austin Hill won the O'Reilly race. It was a good win for him. Tsolov Masterclass and Alfredo got he was on a Masterclass before Mayer wrecked them. I don't blame Mayer for this, by the way. I really just feel bad. I think I really do feel bad for Mayer. He was like really down on himself. Like it was his fault, but it like wasn't like it was a simple mistake that caused it, and I feel like he was way too hard on himself for what happened. Like I get big accident, red flag comes out, yada yada yada, but like he was way too hard on himself. Like it's one thing if you're like Austin Hill and you're intentionally wrecking like Eric Almirola or like completely driving into the corner to keep the lead when you and like fencing somebody and then but like Mayer in my like from what I saw it was a simple mistake. Like, it wasn't that much his fault, but I felt bad for him. I did also feel bad for Alfredo because he was like what P in the top 5 like for a good amount of the race. Unbelievable by him and Retzlaff. Did him and Retzlaff were on smoke for like the first half of that race.
It's interesting. This race was really interesting to me because it's kind of rare that we see. Well, it's rare that we ever see the trucks on a road course. And then the O'Reilly series, it's rare that we see them on a road course without being overshadowed by the Cup guys, right? Yeah. Like normally when you see O'Reilly at a road course, it's the SVG, it's the Zilich show, or even the other Cup guys that may come down are still usually better road course racers than the guys that are often there, which makes it interesting, right? Like when we were doing picks, we kind of didn't know who to pick, and it's not surprising that, especially with a couple of wrecks going on, that someone like an Austin Hill wins in that situation. But it is really cool to see some of these guys have these really strong runs that otherwise would just not have had that opportunity to shine in that way.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think, seeing these guys race without having, like, the Cup guys or, anyone else come down, I think it's really nice. Just because we get to see them more on a road course than, otherwise, I think for the trucks race, it kind of made it a little worse. But we'll get into that. That was horrific, that ending, by the way. you want to talk about that, by the way?
Go
Trucks.
for it.
All right. Well, let's get to the trucks. Let's go to the dock. Second most undeserved win of the weekend goes to Lane Riggs. Respect to Lane Riggs, but that was not deserved. I'm sorry. That was just a horrendous showing by everybody at the front. And then, Cosgrella Masterclass, I guess, P3. Ram Masterclass, P6, P7, P11. Landon Lewis Masterclass, P4, and I got to interview him at Landmark a couple weeks ago in May. And then, let's get into the big piece of this. Right, before we get into the big... Actually, let's get into the big wreck first. What the hell is... I think it was Honeycutt? No. Who was it? It was Honeycutt, right? No. Who was it? Whose dumbass? I'm starting to forget whose idiotic self caused that. It was
Well, Adam Andretti was stupid, but I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
No. I'm talking about the end of that race with no, it was Honeycutt. Yeah, Honeycutt.
It was Honeycutt. Okay.
Yeah, Honeycutt. Yeah. Mate, what are we doing, man? You are way too good of a driver to be pulling that type of shit on track. Unbelievable. From it.
Yeah.
What are we doing? I get you're trying to race for the win. Mate, you wrecked everybody in the front. How? You gave your championship rival a go-ahead win. Dog, there has to be some sort of I make this reference towards Max Verstappen and wheel-to-wheel racing, but Honeycutt at that ending had worse spatial awareness than Helen Keller. It was bad. I've made that reference on this podcast for Max Verstappen's wheel-to-wheel driving.
Yes,
but
you have.
Genuinely, wow. But now that that's been said, let's talk about the real juicy deets. Kligerman.
Actually, before we do that,
do you want to talk about?
just you highlighted Ram Masterclass that Ram, 3 trucks in the top 11. 2 others DNF'd, which that's life.
Yep.
I will point out that lines up with the fact that road courses are where the drivers differentiate themselves a little more, where the equipment matters a little less. And we saw this, in St. Pete. We've seen this when the opportunity arises, that when the trucks matter a little less, Ram has a pretty good stable of drivers for the truck series. Butterbean Queen is going to be good, even if there's some learning to do. Justin Haley is, a winner in multiple series. They've got a good stable of drivers. Even Minnie Terrell looked pretty good here, even though he's been kind of disappointing. And it's worth remembering that when they have struggled to start, but you knew they were going to struggle because it's a new manufacturer coming in. Just wanted to give them their true props of hey, look, driver dependent, suddenly Ram's competitive.
Yeah. Hey, finish because I kind of want to.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Adam Andretti, your shoes whack, your hair whack.
I will say, because it must be said, that he has raced 5 times and only once has finished outside the top 25 in the truck series. I will also say that he is in a Tricon Toyota that is certainly better than a 12th to 25th place truck. So he hasn't been so terrible, but also he is in a truck that should be better than he's done. Both things are true.
On pure pace alone,
this was
he's
stupid.
not terrible. Yeah, on pure pace alone, he's not bad, but decision making, atrocious.
Which he is a driving instructor apparently. So
what? What? Did you say he's a driving instructor?
Yeah.
Where? Where?
Where? I don't know. Hold on. He has also served as a racing instructor for Road and Track magazine and some driving schools, including the Richard Petty driving experience.
Kligerman said something on Twitter in a post, he was interviewed and it was posted on Twitter. He is not wrong. He said that he's Adam Andretti is ashamed to his name. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't disagree. Like, I love Andretti as a name. Like, Andretti, one of the most historic names, and arguably might be the most historic name in all of motorsports. But it really is a shame. Like, I truly think that, like, before he steps into another trucks race, go race some legend cars, go race some modifieds, go do something else, please. Like, just learn a little bit of how to drive cars like NASCARs, please, because like I don't think he doesn't have experience in NASCAR, so like, but like he doesn't have any experience in any stock car. Like if you're gonna race in stock cars, at least I had the same issue with Cletus. Like, if you're gonna race in stock cars and use your name to get into a series, at least like start from the bottom and then work your way up. Even if it's like a couple of races here and there, like Cletus. Like my whole thing with Cletus is like, why is he racing in O'Reilly? He has like 2 races in trucks and like 5 in ARCA, and it's like that's not enough experience. Race like maybe 10 races in ARCA, 10 races in trucks, before you go to O'Reilly, whatever. But like at least get some experience. Literally, as if you can't afford it all the time, that's fine. But like get experience when you can, in things lower than the top series of motorsports, and then eventually when you learn your way, get to the the spot that you're at. Like I feel like I have that sentiment for everyone, but especially with like Andretti and Cletus, who like respect to them, name value great, Cletus great YouTuber. But like it is clear that they use their name to get into these series, and NASCAR will allow it, which isn't their fault. Like NASCAR really should just say no, go to a lower series for a little bit. But like it'll help with your racing. Like if you want to reach a certain point, like I know Cletus wants to race the Daytona 500. If you want to race that race, start at the very bottom. Like not like karting, but like legends, modifieds, stuff like that, where like you're able to learn in an environment that it's safe to do, and you might not like get into a massive wreck. Local tracks, like I know for me, Stafford, literally half a mile, great track to learn at because it's a short track. You're not going that fast, relative to like if you're in trucks or ARC or whatever, and you're at a bigger track. Like, I think people should. I'm more than happy to have people in the trucks, fresh people in the trucks, O'Reilly, whatever. I need them to like. I really want them to earn their stripes first. I think that's my biggest thing. I don't think you should retire per se, but like earn your stripes a little bit in ARCA and Legends, and then then go to trucks. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's
Yeah.
because I think it's dangerous putting these people out there, and although they may have pace, it's just dangerous for the rest of the field when they don't know how to save themselves from a wreck, or they just don't know when to like not dump somebody, or when to like I think it's very useful to learn that in an environment like local tracks where it's safe than to throw yourself into like a top NASCAR series, and that goes for anyone, not just those two. Yeah. Again, I don't hate those people. I don't hate Adam Andretti. I don't hate Cletus McFarland. I like Cletus' content, and I think Adam Andretti's fine. I don't know him personally, but I think he's fine. I really would like to see some finer racing, more refinement on their end. Yeah, I'm gonna use that as my rant. I'm gonna move it around, use that as my rant, and then because I think my rant was very bad. Anyway, I had SVG, I had Allgaier, I had Jimmy Johnson. None of them won. Yeah.
Tragic.
Yep. Tragic.
I had Gibb, Crew, Rig, and Lane Riggs won in undeserving fashion. Brent Cruz had a pretty good showing until he didn't, and Ty Gibbs,
Predictions for Sonoma. I got to go with SVG in the Cup, as always, and Zilich in the O'Reilly Series.
I have, maybe surprisingly, Michael McDowell. Obviously, it helps that Alex had already picked SVG here, and I managed to snipe SVG for the O'Reilly Series instead. So he's my O'Reilly pick. But in the Cup Series, I was thinking like, okay, Zilich really came on at San Diego until obviously got wrecked. Maybe he'd be a competitive pick here. Someone like a Reddick, someone like a Bubba, any of these other drivers that have been up front on the road courses, even a Chris Buescher type. But McDowell has just been so fast. I mean, if you remember, it was at Watkins Glen that he was on the same strategy as SVG and was a few seconds behind, but was really the only guy in the same stratosphere as SVG in that race. And, God forbid something happens to SVG, maybe like he gets Austin Hilled or something. Michael McDowell feels like he has been, A, pretty consistently good at these tracks, and B, the only guy that can really approach SVG's performance, at least on the more typical NASCAR tracks. San Diego was new and kind of different for everyone. But if I can't have SVG, McDowell's earned his place as the next man up there.
Now I'm going to do a little thing that we're going to start this week. This is one of the things I thought of that I didn't plan, but I don't need to plan it. Every week we're going to be giving our driver of the day, but the driver of the day cannot be the race winner. Oh. That's the one stipulation. Driver of the day cannot be the race winner.
Is this retroactive? Like, this is about San Diego race, yeah?
Yes, and we're going to do one for IndyCar. Can't be the winner. The reason why it can't be the winner for the Cup, obviously, it'd be Corey Heim, but we're not going to do that. I think that's too easy. So, yeah. My driver of the day for the Cup is going to be Bub Wall. Unbelievable race from him. P2. Amazing. For the O'Reilly Series, my driver of the day is Parker Retzlaff. He's just too good in a car that isn't one of the top cars, always in the top 10. Oh my god, I almost died. And in the trucks, I have Butterbean Queen getting P7 in a Ram. I believe that is his first or second top 10 in the truck. Let me check just to make sure. Hold on. That is his. Oh no, that's his fourth top 10. Sorry, I lied. That's his fourth top 10, but he's doing well. He's learning. Great race in Butterbean.
All right. Well, in the Cup Series, who could you pick except for Bubba Wallace? Yep. I mean, to be 2 laps down, obviously, you're helped out with the way that NASCAR handles being laps down, but to come from that far down to finishing second is really impressive. In the O'Reilly Series, I am Carson Kvapil. Really, really impressive showing on the day for a guy that I think often gets forgotten in the series among all of the other regulars, not to mention the Cup guys that come in. He really made a statement. And then in the Truck Series, I don't really know. I mean, I'm torn between you shouted out Butterbean, for me to shout out Justin Haley, who, by the way, only needed 3 races to win in the Cup Series. But I think I'm going to go with Daniel Hemrick, who finished second in a very forgettable second place, because you look at guys. Actually, no, I'm not going to do any of those. Chris Wright in 13th place blows my mind. Does he deserve a shout out? No. Am I embarrassed to be living in the Pittsburgh region from which Chris Wright is from? Yes, frequently. But Chris Wright, 13th on a very high skill track. This isn't like a 13th on a super speedway, right? This is not just any road course, but a road course that is so new and so different and involves such racecraft, right? And tire management in all of this. For him to finish 13th, genuinely impressive, especially given the truck that he's in. Can I say that? Can I say that I'm impressed by Chris Wright?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can.
I driver of the day, driver of the year, Chris Wright, my personal hero.
All right, let's not go that far. Let's not do that.
Usually he's a wreck on wheels. Like usually it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to do some stupid shit in the race. And so I just want to give him as many flowers as I can when he's not doing that, in the hopes that maybe he continues to not do that.
Can I bring an idea? Because I know the All Star race is really lackluster the past couple of years. Can I bring an idea for their All Star race?
Out of nowhere, Chris Wright comes in to take out someone.
Yeah, but like halfway every 10 laps, right? I don't know how long the All Star race is, but every 10 laps, the alarm sounds, the purge music sounds, and Chris Wright gets to come on track and dump one driver of his choosing. That driver that he dumps can be repeated. So, but every 10 laps he dumps a driver, stuff like that. Anyway, on to IndyCar. Now, next week we won't be covering IndyCar. But this week oh wait, no. No, we will. I lied. I'm sorry. In 2 weeks we'll be covering IndyCar. This week, though, we will. I forgot it's Mid-Ohio in 2 weeks. It's August that we're not covering IndyCar. But it was Road America. Christian Lundgaard was your winner. And I messaged Jack after he won. I was like, the most undeserving driver of the weekend, Christian Lundgaard. Now, yes, he drove from last to first, and that is an amazing feat. The way he won is just freaking awful. And I don't want to take away from Lundgaard because, again, it was a great win on his part. But what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Genuinely, what the hell? What the hell was that ending? Congratulations to Lundgaard. But again, that ending was just so lackluster for that win. Like, for that drive by Christian Lundgaard, that ending was just, it ruined it for me. Because it was a great drive. But that ending ruined it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, boy. Marcus Armstrong got screwed.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I'm pissed about that. But, I mean, again, it was a great job by Lundgaard. Why did they end half that? Why couldn't you just end the race right before that incident? Why not? That was rough. But yeah, my driver of the day is, and I haven't really thought about this. Do I do what you just did with Wright? No, I wouldn't.
Don't do it for Ferrucci though, because it's less rare for Ferrucci to run decently well.
This is true. I'll give it to Will Power. He's been struggling.
Yeah, do that.
He's been struggling. I'm not gonna lie. He currently sits as I'm scrolling 14th in the championship.
Wow, you must be really zoomed in.
Yeah,
scrolling and scrolling, but no, you're right.
Well, it's been rough. I'm not gonna lie for Will Power. So to get a P3,
yeah,
I think is admirable by him. Yeah.
No, I agree. Maybe you thought that your bias would get in the way. I'm gonna take what I feel like is the easy pick here, and go with Marcus Armstrong as my driver of the day, just to give him some kind of recognition for the fact that he was on track to win until he got absolutely until he had an absolutely unfortunate run-in with his own car. And by run-in, I mean his car just said, "Oh yeah, screw you, I'm dying now."
Yeah. That I'm not gonna lie, I don't cry very often. I almost genuinely cried when that happened. I was like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. And his car fucked off. I was like, all right, you know what? This is just not. It just like he had an unbelievable race. Race. He was first place, pulling away from Lundgaard in second, and his car gave out. Unbelievable. I'm hurt. I'm not the one driving. I'm not fighting for the win, and I'm hurt.
Yeah.
He'll get it. He'll get one. He'll get one this season. I swear to God, he'll get one this season. Too good of a driver not to get one. It came like fifth in the Indy 500. Came so close to winning that. So close to winning this race. Car gave out. I mean, one hell of a driver Marcus Armstrong is. I'm actually so happy he went to IndyCar.
And
he was rotting away in F2.
Remember that the Indy 500 result was because he was ethical. He maybe could have finished better, but he kind of gave up his own race.
Yeah.
So.
And he's one of my favorite drivers, probably tied for first for me with Rasmussen, who did not so well.
Last and second to last.
Yes, last and second to last. But like Armstrong, unbelievable driver, and I am so happy he didn't stick in F2. Anyway, okay. Do we have any final thoughts? Because that was basically it.
Go Team USA.
Facts. I'm going to say this: since it's Pride Month, bring back the gay tires.
True.
Just bring it back. Bring back the gay tires. We need the hyper softs. We need the hyper hards or ultra hards or whatever the hell they call them. We need them. I need them back. I need to see Lewis Hamilton on a hyper soft just dog the field. Bring back the gay tires. I mean, literally, I think that's the best option for F1 going forward. But like, here's the thing: put them on tricycles and put hyper tires on the tricycles. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Oh yeah.
Good. That's the pod. Thank you so much for watching. That's Jack's final thoughts. Go Team USA. Message the GOAT. Peace. And go Bub Wall.
True.